The spaceship fell like a dying bird from the sky. It spun, burned, and screamed as it entered the atmosphere of a strange planet. Inside, alarms rang loudly. Lights blinked red. Oxygen was low. Systems were failing. Captain Leo Clark held on to the controls. His hands were shaking. Sweat ran down his forehead. He knew he would crash, but he had to stay alive. Brace for impact. He shouted. But no one answered. Everyone else on the ship was already gone. A few seconds later, everything went black. Leo woke up on the ground, lying among broken metal and smoking wires. His head was pounding. His leg was bleeding. But he was alive. He sat up slowly. Around him, strange purple trees touched the sky. The sky was green. The air smelled sweet but heavy. This was not Earth. This was nowhere he had seen before. The wreck of his ship was burning. He had no food, no water, no work incomes. Leo was alone. Or so he thought. Hours passed. The sun of this planet was bigger than Earth's sun. It was hot. Leo found some shade under a large leaf and tried to rest. But he felt something. Someone watching him. He opened his eyes. A shadow moved between the trees. Leo froze. Then it stepped out. A girl, but not human. Her skin was light blue, glowing softly like moonlight. Her eyes were wide, golden, and bright. Her hair floated like smoke, even though there was no wind. She looked about 18 in human years, but alien features made it hard to tell. She wore clothes made of leaves and glowing threads. She held a wooden spear, but didn't point it at him. Her head tilted to the side. She was curious. Leo stood up slowly. He raised his hands to show he was not a threat. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said. She didn't understand. But she stepped closer. The alien girl studied him like he was a strange animal. Her eyes scanned his face, his hands, his body. She pointed to his chest, then to her own. Maybe asking, "What are you?" Leo smiled gently. "Human," he said. "I'm a human," she copied the word. "Who? Man?" Her voice was soft, musical. Then her eyes dropped lower. She looked at his legs. Leo followed her gaze, and his eyes widened. A large bump had formed in his pants, swelling. He didn't know how or why. It wasn't there before. He backed away, nervous. "It's nothing. Just an injury," he lied. But she stepped closer. She seemed concerned. She pointed at the swelling, then at her own leg, then at the forest. Maybe she thought it was a parasite. Or bite. "No, wait, don't." Leo tried to stop her, but it was too late. She touched it. A shock ran through his body. The swelling throbbed. He gasped in pain and surprise. The girl pulled her hand back quickly. Her eyes grew wide. She looked at her fingers, then at him. She said something in her own language. Confused, Leo sat down, breathing hard. "That's not something you touch," he said, face red. But she didn't understand. She looked more worried now. Maybe she thought she had poisoned him. She picked a small glowing plant nearby, crushed it, and tried to apply it to his leg. He stopped her gently. "I'll be okay," he said. "Just don't touch it again." She nodded slowly, still watching him. As night came, the forest began to glow. The plants lit up in soft blue and purple light. It was beautiful. And strange. The alien girl led Leo to a cave nearby. It was warm inside and dry. She gave him something that looked like fruit. It tasted sweet, but slightly burned his tongue. She watched him eat, fascinated. They sat near a small fire. Leo looked at her. "Do you have a name?" he asked. She tilted her head. He pointed at himself. "Leo." Then pointed at her. She seemed to understand. She touched her chest and said, "Zara." "Zara," he repeated. She smiled. The night grew quiet, but Leo couldn't sleep. The pain in his leg was worse, and the swelling in his pants still hadn't gone down. He looked at Zara. She was now watching the stars outside the cave. "What are you?" he whispered. She turned to him. For a moment, their eyes met. No words, just silence. And then, a low sound echoed through the forest. Not an animal, not wind. Machine. Something was out there, watching them. Zara sat near the fire, legs crossed, watching Leo sleep. His chest rose and fell slowly, his face calm now. But just hours ago he was in pain, strange swelling, sweat, and confusion written all over his body. She had never seen a creature like him before. So soft, so warm, so noisy. Zara tilted her head and stared at him. Humans were strange. They had strange skin, strange smells, and that thing between their legs that moved and pulsed without warning. It wasn't just a body part, it reacted to emotions, danger, fear, maybe even her touch. She had touched it once, and his face changed instantly. Not anger, not pain exactly. Something else. She didn't know the word, but it made her curious. Leo woke up slowly, blinking as sunlight slipped through the cave entrance. The air smelled of smoke and fruit. He turned and saw Zara sitting on a stone nearby, staring at him again. "Morning," he said, rubbing his eyes. She didn't answer. Of course not. She didn't understand his words. But she smiled, tilting her head. That smile was the same in every language. His legs still hurt, but it had stopped bleeding. The swelling in his pants had finally gone down. For now. Leo stood, limped toward the cave entrance, and looked out. The alien forest glowed faintly in the morning mist. Birds, if they were birds, sang in high-pitched chirps. The trees moved slowly, almost like they were breathing. He took a deep breath. He was alive, but lost. Completely. Zara joined him and touched his shoulder gently. Then she pointed to the jungle, then at herself, then at him. "You want me to follow you?" Leo guessed. She nodded. With no better plan, he grabbed a stick for balance and followed her into the trees. They walked for over an hour. Leo noticed she moved like a shadow, silent, graceful, not disturbing even the smallest leaf. She stopped often, picked glowing plants, touched tree bark, sniffed the air. She was tracking something, or looking for something. Suddenly, she stopped and raised her hand. Leo froze. She slowly moved toward a thick bush, pushed it aside. Behind it was a small pond. Blue water. Clear, bubbly, a spring. Water. Leo rushed forward and dropped to his knees. He drank like a man dying of thirst. Zara laughed softly. Then she pointed at the water and made a washing motion. She wanted him to clean himself. He looked down. His clothes were torn, dirty, blood-stained. He nodded. "Good idea." Zara turned around and walked a few steps away to give him privacy. Sort of. Leo sighed and stripped down. The water was cold, but fresh. It stung his wounds, but it felt good. He looked at his reflection, messy beard, cuts, dark circles under his eyes. But the biggest thing was the swelling again. It had returned. Why? Maybe the alien food, or her presence. He shook his head and tried to ignore it. That's when he heard a splash. He turned. Zara had stepped into the water. With him. Her glowing skin shimmered under the surface. She walked slowly, still staring at him, curious. "Zara," he said, holding up a hand. "You don't have to," but she was already beside him. She reached out, touched the swelling again. He gasped, grabbed her wrist gently. "No, don't." She didn't pull away. Instead, she leaned closer, her glowing eyes full of innocent curiosity. She touched it again, slowly, not out of desire, not out of shame, but like a healer or a scientist. She said something in her language, soft, melodic. Leo shook his head. "It's not a weapon. It's not dangerous." She tilted her head, then repeated his word. "Dan, Gare?" He nodded. "Danger, but not this." Zara looked down, then back at his face. then suddenly let go. She stepped back and said something. Else. It sounded like memory organ. Leo blinked. Did he hear that right? You think it holds memories? She nodded. Then pointed to her temple. Read, she said. Touch, read. Leo didn't understand fully, but she touched the swelling again, just for a second, and closed her eyes. Then something happened. Flash. Zara gasped. Suddenly, she saw flashes in her mind, images, voices, smells, Leo's memories. She saw a burning Earth city, soldiers running, screaming. She saw a woman smiling. A goodbye kiss. She saw Leo crying. Blood on his hands, pain, guilt, lost. Zara pulled her hand back, eyes wide. She looked at Leo like he was a god or a ghost. Leo touched her arm. What? Did you see? She whispered. War, fire, sadness. Zara sat on the rock near the pond, silent for a long time. Leo sat beside her. Was that real? He asked softly. She nodded. She pointed at his chest. You carry too much pain, she said in broken English. He looked at her in shock. You're learning my language? She nodded again. Touch help, mind see, words come. She pointed again at the swelling. This, more than flesh. Leo didn't speak. What was happening here? His body was changing. Her touch was unlocking something. Memory, emotion, or evolution? They walked back toward the cave as the sun began to set. But something had changed between them. Not fear, not attraction. Something more raw, more human. Zara suddenly stopped. She sniffed the air. Then grabbed Leo's arm and pulled him down. They hid behind a fallen tree. In the distance, a red blinking light. A metal drone hovered in the air. It scanned the ground, slowly. Looking for someone, or something. Leo whispered. That's not yours, is it? Zara shook her head. The drone passed, then flew away. Leo looked at her. We're being watched. Zara nodded. Then whispered. Danger, coming. Asterisk. The cave felt colder that night. Leo sat near the fading fire, holding a piece of burnt metal from his crashed ship. It used to be part of the communications panel. Now it was just junk. Or so he thought. Across from him, Zara was asleep, curled up like a cat. Her blue skin faintly glowing. Her breathing soft and steady. He looked at her. So alien. Yet so familiar now. Since her touch unlocked his memories, everything had changed. She saw his past, his pain, his war, his regret. And he saw something in her too. Peace, curiosity, something untouched by cruelty. Leo turned the metal in his hands. Maybe all was not lost. Maybe he could still call for help. At sunrise, Leo and Zara began searching the jungle for tech fragments. Zara didn't ask questions. She followed him, helping silently. Her eyes scanned every shadow. Her hands gently picked through the wreckage. They worked together for hours. By noon, Leo had a pile of parts, burnt wires, broken circuits, a cracked power cell. It's not much, he muttered, but maybe enough. Zara sat beside him and touched the pieces carefully. Then she looked up and whispered, You call sky people? Leo nodded. If I can build a signal beacon, they might hear. Zara's face changed. Not fear, but something close to sadness. She stood up and walked away. Without a word. Leo called after her. Zara? No answer. She vanished into the trees. Hours passed. Leo kept working, rewiring broken tech with vines and alien plant fibers. He didn't know if it would work, but it was better than waiting. Finally, as the sun touched the horizon, Zara returned. Her face was blank. In her hands, a small silver cube. It hummed softly. She gave it to him. Leo examined it. Alien tech. Smooth, cold, but familiar. What is this? He asked. She pointed to the sky. Signal, strong, my family used it. Leo was shocked. You had tech like this? Why didn't you say earlier? She looked away. I hide it. From you. Why? Her voice was low. Because humans took everything from me. Zara sat on the ground, hands in her lap. She spoke slowly, choosing words carefully. Long ago. Ship from stars came, like yours, many humans, not like you. She pointed to her glowing skin. My people welcomed them. We gave food, shelter, friendship. Her eyes darkened. They took our forests, our water, our blood. Leo felt sick. He had heard stories of rogue human colonies, pirates, raiders, spreading across the stars, doing what they wanted. No laws, no mercy. Zara continued. My mother, my brother. All gone. Only I left. She looked at him now. You are good, different, but your signal may bring them again. Leo was silent. He looked at the cube in his hand, his only chance. To leave might also bring death to this world. That night he didn't sleep. The stars above twinkled like broken glass. The jungle was alive with sound, soft growls, clicking bugs, strange music in the wind. Zara sat beside him, quiet. Finally, Leo spoke. If I use this, and bad humans come, I won't let them hurt you. Zara looked at him. You promise? He nodded. I promise. The next morning, they built the beacon. Zara taught him how to activate the cube. Place it near crystal rocks. Add heat, mix sap from a golden vine. Together they crafted a strange machine, part human tech, part alien nature. Leo flipped a switch. The cube lit up. A low hum echoed. A blue beam shot into the sky. The signal was sent. They watched the beam for a long time. Silent. Then Zara whispered, now we wait. 3 days passed. The beacon kept humming. But there was no reply. Zara and Leo lived in the cave, hunted fruit, fixed tools. But tension was growing. Something was coming. One evening, as they sat near the fire, Zara suddenly stiffened. Leo looked at her. What is it? She pointed to the forest. Eyes. He grabbed a stick. Stay here, he said. But she followed him anyway. They walked slowly through the trees. Then they saw it. A large tree, burnt at the roots, and beside it, tracks. Heavy. Metallic. Leo crouched. Not a beast, Zara whispered. Machine. He touched the prints. Fresh, something big. And not from this world. That night, they watched the skies. Then it came. A flash of light. A ship. Small. Fast. It didn't look like Earth design. Zara grabbed his arm. Not your people? Leo's heart raced. No. I don't recognize that. Ship. The ship didn't land. It hovered far above. Then dropped something. A pod. It crashed into the jungle with a loud boom. Leo and Zara ran toward it. They found the pod, half buried in dirt. Inside, a screen blinking. It showed one message. We received your signal. We are coming. Do not trust the blue ones. Leo's face went pale. He turned to Zara. She had read it too. Her face was blank, but her eyes were full of fear. Who sent this? Leo whispered. Zara whispered back. My people called them the cold men. Leo looked again at the pod. So smooth, so shiny, so wrong. He felt something inside his chest twist. He had called for help, but maybe he had invited something worse. Back at the cave, Leo sat in silence. The fire crackled. Zara sat across from him, holding her knees. He broke the silence. You think they'll kill you? Zara nodded. They killed others. Not all humans are bad, but these are monsters in metal. Leo clenched his fists. He had to make a choice. Run, hide, or fight. Zara leaned forward. There is one place, she said. Old ruins, my people's final shelter. Maybe there we find answers. Leo stood. Then we go. But before they left, Leo turned and looked at the beacon, still humming, still glowing. He picked up a rock and smashed it. The beam vanished. Zara smiled softly. Leo looked at her. Let's find your past, and maybe fix mine. The jungle grew darker the deeper they walked, not because it was night, but because the trees here were ancient, tall, twisted, and heavy with vines that blocked the sky. The air smelled like wet stone and old dreams. Strange sounds echoed around them, low whispers, rustling leaves, distant pulses of unknown creatures. Zara moved with silent grace. Leo followed, stepping carefully. For hours they said nothing. Just walked until they reached the edge of a cliff. Below them, hidden in a valley of blue mist, lay the ruins. Massive stone arches rose like ribs from the earth. Towers broken and half-leaned sideways. Floating orbs of dim green light hovered above pathways, moving slowly, like they remembered how things used to be. Zara whispered, "This was my city, before the fire, before the humans." Leo stared. "It's beautiful." "No," she said. "It's dead." They climbed down slowly. Leo's legs still ached from the crash, but the swelling, that strange pulsing in his groin, had returned, and now it was worse. It glowed. A faint blue light, the same color as Zara's skin. It didn't hurt, but it felt alive, as if something inside him was waking up. He didn't tell her yet, not until he understood what it meant. At the entrance of the ruins, two statues stood guard, tall alien figures with empty eyes and long hands stretched forward. Zara placed her palm on one of them. It lit up. A door opened silently into the stone wall. "Come," she said. Inside was a massive hall filled with broken machines and faded paintings on the wall, strange symbols, glowing shapes, and scenes of starships hovering over cities. Zara walked slowly, touching the walls as if greeting ghosts. "My people stored memories here," she said. "Not in books, in air, in stone." Leo looked confused. "What do you mean?" She pointed to the center of the room, where a round platform waited. "Step there," she said. "Let it read you." Leo hesitated, then stepped forward. The floor lit up. Suddenly, Leo felt a soft breeze inside his head. Then images. Not from his own past, but from the alien world. A great city rising from crystal ground. Zara, younger, playing with others, laughing. Then the sky darkened. Ships appeared, metal beasts, humans, armed and angry, storming the peaceful city. Fire, screams, Zara running, her mother yelling her name. Then darkness. Leo staggered back. Zara caught him. "These ruins show memories," she said. "If your body glows, it means you are changing." Leo blinked. "Changing? Into what?" She didn't answer. Later they sat near a pool of still water. It reflected stars above, even though they were underground. Leo looked at her. "Zara, what is happening to me?" She looked into the water. "Your body is not only human now. My touch, the energy here, it has mixed." Leo frowned. "Mixed? Like DNA?" "Like soul," she said. She touched his hand. It was warmer than before. "Softer. I felt your memories," she said. "Now, you carry mine too." He stared at her. "Are you saying I'm becoming like you?" She nodded slowly. "Part of me, part of you." Leo stood, breathing heavy. He lifted his shirt. His chest had a faint shimmer, blue veins glowing under his skin. He unzipped his pants slightly. The swelling was bright now, pulsing, calm, but alive. He looked at her. "What is this?" Zara didn't smile. She placed her hand on it again, gently, closed her eyes. This time, Leo did the same. Flash. They were no longer in the ruins. They were in the stars. Floating. Zara stood before him, glowing like a star goddess. Her body shimmered. Her eyes burned with light. "This is your soul," she said, "now connected to mine." He looked around. "Where are we?" "In the in-between," she said. "This place exists only during connection." Leo felt peace, warmth, safety. But also pain. He saw flashes of her past again, her mother's last words, the burning trees, her loneliness. She saw more of him now, his first love, the battle where he lost his friends. His fear of dying alone. They were no longer strangers. They were bonded. Then it shattered. The vision broke like glass. They fell back into their bodies with a gasp. Leo dropped to his knees. Zara's nose was bleeding. What just happened? He said. She touched her heart. We are soul linked now. You carry a piece of me. Leo didn't know what to say. He looked down. The swelling was gone. In its place, a glowing mark, shaped like a spiral, alien, beautiful, unnatural. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the ruins. Zara stood up, eyes wide. Leo grabbed this sharp metal shard. From the shadows, something moved, not human. Not alien, something in between. A tall, thin creature stepped into the hall. Its body was silver, its head smooth and faceless. It hovered slightly above the ground, making no sound. Zara whispered. In terror, Watcher. Leo raised a shard. Is it from your people? She shook her head. No, it follows the cold men. The Watcher raised a hand. A beam of red light scanned Leo. It stopped on his chest, on the glowing mark. Then it spoke in a cold, robotic voice. Subject modified, evolution active. Threat level, unknown. Leo took a step back. Run, Zara said. They turned and ran through the ruins as the Watcher floated after them, scanning walls, triggering alarms. Lights lit up. The entire city was waking. They reached the cave by dawn. Leo collapsed on the ground, breathing hard. Zara closed the entrance with a stone door. They were safe. For now. But the cold men knew now. They knew what he was becoming. What she had done. And they would come. Zara sat beside him. You carry the gift now. My ancestors called it the flame of echoes. It makes you more than human. Leo looked at his glowing mark. I didn't ask for this, he whispered. She touched his face. But now, you are one of us. Leo stared into the morning light, chest burning, heart racing. The swelling was gone. But something far stranger had taken its place. To be continued. Ready for part 5? It will bring chase, danger, new powers, and a dark truth behind the alien hunters. Things get faster, hotter, and more intense from here. Let me know when to begin. You said, start with part 5 more unique, and Lentai Cat said, absolutely. Here is part 5, The Hunter and the Heat, written with maximum immersion, emotion, and pacing. This chapter blends intense action, new discoveries, and deeper connection, with a rising threat that changes everything. Style remains third. Person, basic English, and highly cinematic. Approx 1,300 plus words. Part 5, The Hunter and the Heat HFY Sci-Fi series. Part 5. Smoke hung in the air, like ghosts that refused to leave. Leo sat against the cave wall, chest rising fast. Sweat dripped down his face. His shirt was torn. His glowing chest mark throbbed like a second heartbeat. Beside him, Zara stood guard, eyes locked on the jungle beyond the stone door. She held her spear tight, her breath calm, but her body ready to fight. They hadn't slept. The Watcher had found them in the ruins, and even though they escaped, the cold men were coming now. Leo could feel it. His skin buzzed, his bones vibrated. His blood didn't feel like just blood anymore. Something was waking up inside him. That night, the cave grew hotter, not from fire. From Leo, his body burned. Zara touched his forehead. Your temperature is rising, fast, he winced. It feels like lava in my veins. She looked at his glowing mark. It was brighter now, almost blinding. The flame is spreading, she whispered, too fast. Leo groaned. His vision blurred. His hands shook. Zara looked at him troubled. If it spreads without balance, she said softly, your body may burn itself from inside. Leo gasped. Then stop it. I can't, she said. Only you can control it. The flame tests the soul. If your heart is not clear, it destroys you. Leo laughed bitterly. Great, a burning chest and a personality test. Zara didn't smile. This was no joke. Hours passed. Leo drifted between fever dreams and flashes of memories, some his, some not. He saw Earth cities, then alien cities. He saw himself, walking in fire, laughing, crying. He saw Zara, but older, standing among stars. Then he saw a face, metal, cold, red glowing eyes. The hunter. It spoke only one word, consume. Leo woke up with a scream. Zara rushed to his side. You saw him, she said. Leo nodded, breath shaky. He's coming. The next day, they left the cave. They couldn't stay in one place anymore. They walked through narrow cliffs, deep caves, and glowing fields. Zara led the way. Leo followed, weak but recovering. As they passed through a dry canyon, Leo suddenly stopped. He felt something, pressure, heat. He dropped to one knee. Zara turned. What is it? He clutched his chest. Something's wrong. Suddenly, the rock wall beside them exploded. A silver blur shot out. Zara screamed, pulling Leo back. The creature landed in front of them. The hunter, tall, metal body covered in spikes, its head shaped like a skull. Glowing red eyes. No mouth. It didn't speak. It didn't need to. It raised a long weapon, half blade, half energy gun. Leo stood slowly. Zara stepped in front of him. Go, she shouted. I'm not leaving you. The hunter charged. Zara leapt, spear ready. She struck its chest, but the weapon bounced off. It backhanded her across the rocks. Leo roared. He didn't know why. He didn't know how, but his chest lit up like a sun. The mark on his body flared, and energy shot out from his hands. A wave of heat. It smashed into the hunter, pushing it back. The rocks under Leo's feet melted slightly. He stumbled, shocked. What the hell? Zara pulled herself up, bleeding from the lip. You used the flame, she said. Without burning, you're ready. Leo looked at his hands. They were glowing. His body wasn't just surviving now, it was evolving. The hunter stepped forward again, armor cracked, but not dead. It raised its weapon and fired. Zara shoved Leo down. The blast missed, but it turned the rock behind him into ash. Leo rolled, grabbed a piece of broken stone, and threw it, useless. Zara attacked again, but the hunter caught her midair, slamming her to the ground. Leo felt something crack inside him, not bones, something deeper. He screamed, and the mark on his chest exploded in light. Everything slowed. Time bent, the air rippled. Leo ran forward in a flash. He appeared behind the hunter and punched it. His fist burned with heat and light. The hunter's back cracked open. It turned just in time for Zara to stab it in the neck. Together, they brought it down. The machine spasmed, lights flickering, then went still. Silence. They stood over it, breathing hard. Leo's hands were shaking. Zara touched his shoulder. You moved like lightning. Leo nodded. I didn't even think. It just happened. She smiled for the first time that day. You're becoming more than human. They dragged the hunter's body to a cave and began checking its parts. Inside its chest, Leo found a small device like a black coin. He touched it and heard a voice. Phase 1 complete. Subject ready. The harvest begins. He dropped. Zara looked pale. They're coming, all of them. Leo looked at her. We need to stop this, she nodded. There's one place. The core temple. My people built it long ago. It can shut down the flame or release it across the galaxy. Leo's eyes narrowed. You mean this gift inside me, ... Could spread? Zara hesitated. If you choose, but it's dangerous. Leo looked out at the jungle, then at his hands. Let's go to the core. As night fell, they rested in a small cave. Zara cleaned Leo's wounds with glowing leaves. Leo looked at her. You okay? She nodded. Your powers are stronger than I hoped, but they come with a price. Leo leaned back. There's always a price. She looked at him. I've never known anyone like you. He smiled. Me neither. They sat in silence for a while. Then Zara whispered, the flame links more than just memory. It links hearts. Leo looked at her. Slowly, without a word, she placed her head on his shoulder. The jungle outside whispered. But inside that cave, there was only warmth. Far away in the black sky, a fleet of cold men ships moved closer to the planet. Their leader, a tall machine wrapped in shadows, watched a red screen. On it, Leo's glowing mark. He smiled. A metal smile. The flame has chosen a host. Prepare. The harvest. Asterisk, they ran under starlight. Leo's breath burned in his chest. Not just from exhaustion, but from the mark. It pulsed stronger with every step, as if the planet itself was calling it. Zara led the way, her feet gliding over the roots and rocks. Even after all they'd been through, the ruins, the watcher, the hunter, she never slowed down. Leo admired that about her. She was built of memory and fire, but tonight, even she seemed tense. Where is the core temple? Leo asked between breaths. Zara didn't turn. Beyond the silent ridge, guarded by echoes and pain. Leo frowned. Pain? She didn't answer. She just ran faster. By morning, they reached the edge of a red canyon. A bridge of floating stone blocks led across it. Each step shimmered and cracked like glass. Leo looked down. How stable is this? Zara stepped onto the first stone. It holds if your heart is clear. He gulped. Great. They crossed one by one, surrounded by fog and silence. Then, finally they saw it. The core temple. A giant dome buried in vines and crystal, humming softly with ancient power. It pulsed with a dull light like a sleeping heart. Zara exhaled slowly. We're here. Leo's mark reacted instantly, burning hotter. Brighter. He dropped to one knee. Zara rushed to him. The core feels you, she said. It knows your body is ready, but your soul. She didn't finish. Inside the temple, murals of Zara's people covered the walls. They showed a glowing flame passing from hand to hand, from generation to generation, until one man burned too brightly and became a star. Leo stared at the last image. It's me, he whispered. Zara nodded. You're the first human chosen. You may be the last. They walked into the center chamber. A floating orb of blue light hovered above a platform. The walls vibrated softly with energy. At its base, there were two stones, one glowing white, the other black. Zara stepped back. This is where it happens. Leo looked at her. What? She swallowed hard. The core must test your truth. If your flame is pure, it gives you strength. If not, she looked away. It burns everything you love. Leo stared at the orb. Then at the two stones. He stepped forward. As he did, the orb flashed and his body locked in place. His mind was pulled inward. In his vision, Leo stood inside a memory, not his own. He was in a burning city, aliens screaming, humans laughing as they torched the trees. Among them, a boy. Not Zara, a younger version of her brother. He begged for mercy. A soldier raised his rifle, pulled the trigger. Leo screamed, but no sound came out. Suddenly, the scene changed. Now he stood in a memory of his own. The day he left Earth. His mother crying. His brother angry. You run from your problems, Leo. You always have. Leo turned away. Boarded the ship. He never said goodbye. The vision ended. Leo fell to his knees, gasping. The orb above him flickered. The white stone glowed. So did the black. Zara stepped forward, eyes wide. You carry both fire and shadow. Leo stood, shaky. What does that mean? That your choice will decide everything. Suddenly, a loud noise echoed outside. Engines. Metal boots. They ran to the temple entrance. Ships were landing in. The jungle cold men, dozens of them, rising from metal ramps like a walking army of death. One tall machine walked ahead of them all. Its chest glowed red. The same glow Leo once had. Zara's face went pale. It's the harvester. Leo clenched his fists. He's here for the flame, Zara nodded. And for me. They returned to the core. Zara turned to Leo. There's a second option, she said. He frowned. What do you mean? She looked into his eyes. If you give me the flame, I can destroy the harvester. Leo stepped back. You'd survive it? She hesitated. No, Leo's heart twisted. You'd die. She nodded, but so would they. He couldn't breathe, after everything. After their bond, after the cave, the memories, the trust, the touch. No, he said. There must be another way. Zara smiled gently. That's what makes you human. The temple began to shake. The harvester had arrived. Zara kissed Leo on the forehead. Then walked toward the orb. Wait, he shouted. She turned, tears in her eyes. You changed me, she said, then placed her hand on the orb. Before she could absorb the flame, Leo rushed forward. He placed his hand over hers. The orb exploded with light. Both of them were lifted into the air. Their bodies wrapped in fire. Energy flowed between them. The core trembled. The mark on Leo's chest moved, sliding from him into her. Half of it, at least. Zara screamed. Leo held her tight. Live, he whispered. Outside, the harvester entered the chamber. He raised his weapon, but Zara stepped forward, her body glowing like a sun. She raised her hand, released the flame. Wave of blue fire engulfed the temple. The harvester screamed. Machines melted. Even stone turned to glass. When the light faded, Leo lay on the floor. Burned, weak, alive. Zara knelt beside him. She was barely breathing. You gave me part of it, she whispered. He smiled, tears falling. You don't have to die alone. She touched his face. Neither do you. The temple walls cracked. The core faded, but the cold men were gone. Destroyed. The bond between human and alien had saved more than just a planet. It had created something new. Something no one could predict. Later that night, under open sky, Leo and Zara sat by a small fire. She rested her head on his shoulder. He looked at the stars. They'll come back one day, he said. She nodded. But next time, we'll be ready, he smiled. Together? She closed her eyes. Together. The sky had never been so quiet. The stars above blinked like curious eyes. No ships, no war machines, no threats. Just peace. Leo stood on a high cliff, looking down at the smoking jungle where the core temple once stood. The cold men were gone, burned into memory. But so was the flame, or most of it. He still had a piece inside him. The mark on his chest was now dim, but still alive. It pulsed softly, like a heart remembering love. Zara walked up beside him. Her blue skin was faintly glowing, her eyes tired but calm. She touched his hand. It's over. Leo looked at her. Is it? Zara tilted her head. He pointed to the sky. They'll come again. Not the same ones, but others. That signal, my signal, it's out there. She was quiet for a moment, then whispered, Then let them come. We'll show them who we are. Leo smiled, but the weight in his heart didn't go away, because deep down, he knew something had changed inside him forever, not just his body, his soul. That night, while Zara slept by the fire, Leo walked into the jungle alone. He moved silently. The flame inside him guided his steps, like a compass pointing to something just beyond reach. Then he saw it, a ship. Small, old, But human-built. It had landed during the chaos. Its hull bore the symbol of Earth. Leo stepped closer. The door opened with a hiss. A voice crackled from inside. Captain Leo Clark. This is Commander. Adrien Vos, Colonial Rescue Division. We received your signal. You're safe now. Leo froze. The voice continued. We detected alien energy signatures and a potential hybrid event. Are you in possession of any alien biological entities? Leo said nothing. The voice got sharper. You are to report for full debrief. DNA scans will be mandatory. If contamination is confirmed, termination protocol will be considered. His jaw tightened. Zara appeared behind him. She had followed. Silently. She had heard it all. She didn't speak. She didn't have to. Her eyes already said everything. You must choose. Leo looked at the ship. Then at her. Then at the stars. He stepped inside the ship slowly. Looked around. Screens, controls, oxygen. Familiar. He could leave this place in minutes. Go home. Back to Earth. Back to what was left of his old life. He sat in the pilot chair, closed his eyes, and saw flashes. Zara, laughing by the river. The watcher burning in his hands. The core temple glowing like a heartbeat. And Earth, war, concrete, noise, orders, lies, regret. The screen lit up again. Captain Clark, final call. Confirm return or extraction will be denied. Leo stood up, walked to the door, and turned back one last time. Then he whispered, I'm already home. He left the ship, walked back to Zara, took her hand. She said nothing, but tears rolled down her cheeks. They returned to the ruins together and began to rebuild, not the buildings, but the bond between two species, between two broken hearts. Between two flames. Weeks passed, then months. Zara taught Leo how to listen to the soil, how to read the stars, how to harvest memory from wind and water. Leo taught her how to shape metal, how to make fire from wires, how to write in human letters. They created a village together. Not for war, but for peace. Wounded machines became sculptures. Shards of cold men helmets became gardens. They lived simply, but fully. Then one day, a child appeared, not born, but found, wrapped in vines, glowing faintly, crying softly, human eyes, alien skin, neither Zara's nor Leo's, but clearly connected. The planet had responded to their bond, to their flame. They raised the child as one of their own, taught it both languages, both memories, both ways, and the child grew faster than either could explain. It could feel emotions from miles away. It could touch a stone and read its history. It could laugh and make flowers bloom. The flame lived on, but not as a weapon. As hope. Years passed. Leo's beard grew silver. Zara's glow dimmed, but never died. And their child stood taller than both, stronger than both, and kinder than anyone before. One day, a ship appeared again in the sky. But this time Leo didn't hide. He stood tall. Zara beside him, their child between them. The ship landed, and humans stepped out. But they didn't come with weapons. They came with questions. They came with awe. They came to listen. The story of Leo Clark, the lost captain who became the guardian of another world, spread across galaxies. Not as a tale of survival, but as a legend of transformation. One man, one alien, one choice. Not to conquer, not to escape, but to become something more. Together. Final scene. The child sits under the stars, carving symbols into stone. Behind them, Leo and Zara watch with quiet pride. The child looks up. Will there be more like me? Leo smiles. Maybe, one day. Zara leans closer. But for now you are enough. The child nods. And looks at the stars. Not with fear, but with wonder.